So yes, I'm super excited to bring Kelsey Renevier to the table. You know, many of you, she works out of our Bozeman office. And of course, she is connected to Jeff. So everybody's always super curious. That's how that works. But it's so nice to have you here and for you to share your story and just be able to help other women and people in our organization listen to what has brought you to the table. So I'm just super curious as to why you chose real estate and also how long you've been doing it. How long have you been involved in the business?
Okay, so I've been in the business for, it will be almost 4 years. So not very long. I'm still a very much a newbie. So before this though, I was in retail. I was working for my family's business, a coffee shop. And so retail life, I worked, every weekend, I worked every holiday. I worked late, I worked early. I was the one that got called when the alarm went off at the store and somebody had to go and turn it off. I mean, it was my life, retail was fully my life. And I did it for 10 years. And it was my family's business. So while I learned a ton and I grew a ton while doing it, it just wasn't mine. It wasn't my thing, right? It was never my identity.
Mhm.
So, as I met Jeff and as I sort of wanted to start to, obviously have a family and those sort of things were really important to me. I just knew that, this retail kind of life just wasn't really for me. And I wanted to have my own identity and I wanted to start my own career that I was proud of, and that gave me a little bit of what I thought at the time was flexibility. As we all know, as realtors, we have none of that, but anyway, you think you do. So anyway, I just love the opportunity that I could get to learn a new skill. The amazing earning potential obviously was a huge factor in that as well. There's just, it's an amazing business with no ceiling. And I just thought that was amazing. I wanted to be part of that.
Do you feel like over the 4 years you've seen that reward?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I joked about the flexibility, right? Because
Yeah.
we have it, but we don't. It's all about how you structure that for yourself. But it's been able to give me so much time with my son and my family. And, so many things that I never would have been able to do previously. I mean, I worked Christmas Day, I get to be at home
Right.
this morning
Yeah.
now with my kids. So it's amazing.
Well, it's interesting when we talk to people that have been in retail, and I did kind of that myself for 37 years. You are in control somewhat to the schedule, but you really aren't. The schedule is constant. It always evolves. It feels like day and night. And so I
Yeah.
do think real estate gives you the ability to create balance, which is what you're
Yeah.
kind of talking about, even though there's a personal commitment to the client and to the things that you're doing. So
For sure.
it's so nice to hear that you can have that balance. I mean, now Cash is going, how old is he this year?
He's 3.
3.
He's
So
starting preschool,
yeah,
and I
that's
got to
great.
go and meet the preschool and do the thing at 10 o'clock in the morning because,
So
I've created that schedule for myself. So that's what it's all about for me.
well, and he's also lived in 3/4 of your business. So that's, that matters. That
Yeah.
makes a big difference for you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when you talk about your business versus other real estate agents in Bozeman, what makes your business unique to you? What are you
Yeah.
doing differently?
So I think, there's probably a lot of amazing agents out there that are going to say the same thing that maybe I would, but this is super personal to me. These transactions, these are so personal to me. These people that I deal with, truly become my family, my friends, they're part of my life. It's a really big deal to me that I don't take lightly, right? This is for most people the biggest financial decision they ever make in their life.
Mhm.
And for a lot of people, there's a lot of things that are going on in the background that maybe aren't awesome, right? There's maybe some reasons they have to sell or buy or whatever the case is. And so I think for me, it's truly important to me to understand who my people are. I want to know who they are. I don't want to just know that they're 133 Pine Street. It's super important to me to understand their story and why they're doing what they're doing and who they are and what's important to them. Feel like it's super important to me to make a difference in their experience in this industry because I think we've all experienced maybe some negativity, right? Or just not amazing experiences. And I had the first home that I bought was terrible. It was a horrible experience. So, it's important to me to make sure that that's, a good experience for them. and I also want to be able to facilitate change. You know, if they want to make change in their lives, I want to be here to support them and facilitate that. And that never changes. You know, my people are always my people. So I think that's what makes
Have,
it to me.
have you found that you're defining your business a little bit more about the type of client you want to be working with after 4 years, or is that just, are you taking everybody on?
Yeah, I'll take anybody. I mean, truly, I love all sort of realms of it, right? I love the luxury space, obviously. I love first-time home buyers. I love dealing with, you know, potential development opportunities. I really think that that's what makes our industry so amazing is it's different every day. Every deal is different, every transaction is different, every client is different. Their needs are all different. So I think for me at this point, and maybe that'll change, but for me at this point, I love getting to work with everybody.
Whatever you come in contact
Yeah.
with. Very, very
Mhm.
nice. And of course, as a woman, right, what are the challenges of being, or what makes it hard in this business to be a woman and build your own business?
Yeah. So I think as women, we feel the need to sort of fix things or take care of things or make things better, right? Like at least
Right.
that maybe I'm the only one, but
You're
that's
not, you're not the only one.
maybe that's me. But yeah, so I think that I care so much about making everybody else happy and fulfilled and having a great experience, right? And all this stuff that I forget about me, like a lot. And so, you know, I think it's hard for us to take the time to take care of ourselves, you know, and we take care of everybody else in our lives and everybody around us, and it's important to us and it's important to me, but I think it's hard for me to make sure that I take care of myself and that that's a priority.
Yeah, so personal care, it's huge. It's
Mhm.
what makes, it's the longevity of our lives, right?
Right.
You can really burn through it, or you can decide that it's important to balance it out. So
Yeah.
awesome.
Mhm.
And just in that juggle, right? How do you add that juggling act of life to your objective to grow? Because I know that your business is really strong. You are always in the forefront, managing your business for another growth opportunity. You know, I know that because I talk to Todd a lot. You guys coach
Yeah.
together a lot. And
Yeah.
it's this feeling of like, I've come to this level. So
Yeah.
now year 5, what's the plan for year 5? How is that
Yeah.
going to adjust itself?
Yeah. So I think, you know, just kind of like we talked about again, sometimes I juggle things really terribly. Like we're all human, you know, and some days are better than others. Some days I prioritize myself better than others. I think then, you know, just one thing that I started to do recently that has made a really big difference is Jeff and I both have committed to read, you know, 10, 20 pages a day. I think Jeff's 20, I'm 10 because, you know, anyway. So I started out with 10 pages. And what I started to do is I read my 10 pages before I leave the office, before I go home. So like that's the last few minutes of my day. I spend it pouring into myself, whether it's a, you know, a self-growth book or it's just a book that I enjoy. I mean, it doesn't matter. I love to enjoy both of them. So I spend those last few minutes of my day unwinding, but also pouring into myself and giving myself sort of just a reset, right? Like just being able to sort of shake off whatever happened during the day, even if it was a great day, just sort of to reset, get ready to go home. You know, my little baby's at home. I want to be present when I'm home. That's been a really big struggle is just making sure that when I'm home and I'm with him and the phone is away and, you know, the deals can wait. So just making sure that that's a priority, you know, and that 10 pages of just me time at the office when it's quiet it's been really nice, and it's been really nice for just my mindset. So
That's great. Yeah, I haven't
highly
heard. I
recommend
love
that
it.
too.
You don't leave the office until you've kind of folded under, and then you walk
Yeah.
into that other side of your life. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. That's a great
It's
tip.
been really good. Like I highly recommend it.
Yeah, no, thank you for that insight. You know,
Yeah.
it's hard being, as you remember from 4 years ago, which seems probably like 10, to
Yeah.
be new and to say, oh, this business is supposed to be easy and it's supposed to be simple and I can make it work and it's got a flexible schedule. And nowhere in your conversation today have you said that. But you're reaping the benefits and the rewards of what you like about it, which I think is really wonderful on both your personal side and on the business side. And again, hard work is what makes it grow. So congratulations for your success.
Thank you.
but also for sharing what you're doing. And I love the idea of closing out the day. Like that is a brand new little trick that I think some of us might be able to take forward. So
Yeah.
thanks so much for
Yeah.
that. And I look
Yeah.
forward to
Try
seeing
it.
you in Bozeman. I'm determined to come up and see you guys. So
I know.
that'll be on my list January, February. So
Great. We'd love to have you. You can
I'd love
come
to
over
love to be
and see
there.
what it's like to live with Cash Edwin.
Yeah, it'd be really nice. So Merry Christmas to all four of you at this point, and
Thank
thanks so
you.
much for joining us.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much, Suzanne.